November 21, 2021 marks 176 years of the Jamaica Railway. In 1843, a proposal to construct the Jamaica Railway line was made to the Jamaica House of Assembly by brothers William and David Smith. After a successful tender, the project was executed. The cost of the original undertaking, including buildings and rolling stock, was £222,250. The company's new steam engine, the projector, was attached to a train consisting of 8 to 10 well-filled carriages that started on what is known today as its first railway excursion in the British West Indies. The opening ceremony, held November 21, 1845, had live music from the West Indian Regiment Band and prominent guests such as His Excellency the Governor, the Lieutenant Governor, several heads of departments, civil and military, the honorable members of the Council and Assembly, and a large number of the more wealthy and influential members of the community. It was an event of great excitement and wonder, and as the train passed slowly, crowds of citizens stood on both sides of the track cheering. Not only was the train an everyday convenience for people that used it regularly, children traveling to school, adults on their way to work, and the weekends, people going to the market to sell ground provisions and other commuters. It further played a vital role in providing freight services to the agricultural, mining, and tourism sectors at a cheaper rate. The initial standard gauge line, constructed in 1844, ran across the Ligony Plains from Kingston to Spanish Town. These have been in constant use with the addition of new rail lines extensions, making them more accessible to more people across the island. Notably, influential visitors such as Her Royal Highness, Princess Margaret, and His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie have travelled by our railways. The public railway tracks span 335 kilometers, with lines extended from Spanish Town to Old Harbour, Poros, Montego Bay, and Port Antonio. A simple trip can take you quickly out of the city and into the open countryside, with a few stops to pick up passengers and mail. The railway stations were linked by one of the world's earliest means of long-distance communication, the telegraph. This was used to coordinate the arrivals and departures and was effective in preventing accidents and trains from going in the wrong direction. At the Spanish Town railway station, one has the choice of two directions, either Bagwalk onto Port Antonio by taking the right or the left to Montego Bay. In Clarendon, the train crosses over the Rio Minho and into the Maypen station. The main station on 142 Barry Street in downtown Kingston was the busiest. From there, one could travel to Bagwalk, Linstead, Williamsfield, Port Antonio, and other places covered by daily service. The railway has changed ownership several times, being bought, sold, resold, and bought again. In 1958, Colonel Jackson proposed the setting up of a corporation to control the railway and was agreed upon by the government of Jamaica. This gave birth to the Jamaica Railway Corporation, a statutory body established under the Jamaica Railway Corporation Act of 1960, solely responsible for the operation of rail services in Jamaica. The government had all the unsecured bonds and shares and contributed some £300,000 annually under a 5-year reorganization scheme. By 1965, the Jamaica Railway Corporation employed 1,521 persons. 260.5 miles of track was covered. 1,155,543 passengers were carried, 4,330 wagons of bananas were hauled, and 468,752 tons of alumina carried to the coast. The mechanical workshop was the largest in Jamaica. The bulk of the repair work was done by skillful personnel who carried worn wheels, damaged locomotives, and set up new trains. These tracks required careful timing and thoughtless precision. It was hoped that the railway would break even. However, by 1975, the Jamaica Railway Corporation's operational deficit continued to increase, resulting in Jamaica's public rail transport services finally ceasing operation in October 1992. Since then, there have been futile attempts to restore public service. However, private industrial lines continue to operate in part today.